All right, folks, welcome to we have the joint meeting between the Board of Supervisors and the Planning Commission tonight. Board does have a quorum, Planning Commission has a quorum. At this time, we'll stand and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is Mr. Morris.
Oh, all right. Please join me in prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for all of your wonderful blessings. We thank you for the privilege and opportunity that we have to serve our county and our community. We pray that you would give us guidance and wisdom as we go about the business tonight. In the holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, the Planning Commission can open their meeting.
I can't do anything till you hold lecture chair.
It says open planning.
Oh,
Commission.
all right. So. All right. I guess we need to elect a temporary chair.
Yeah, I'll motion to appoint Whitmore as temporary chair for this meeting.
Second. All right, been moving properly second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. I guess the one thing we'll have to do, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, this is the first time the Planning Commission has gotten together since we lost longtime commission member Juan Whittington. His wisdom and his experience and his well thought out, though sometimes lengthy comments will be greatly missed. I know we just prayed, but if y'all would join me in just a moment of silence so we can pray for his family. Yeah. All right, thank you. All right.
All right. I would now call this to order this joint public hearing of the Meade County Board of Supervisors and Planning Commission for the purpose of receiving public comment on the proposed zoning text amendment concerning battery storage. Before we begin, I ask staff to introduce the item.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and members of the commission. This is a code change before you tonight based on some changes and a new law passed by the General Assembly that's going to be effective July 1st. So this ordinance is proposing adding additional regulation to battery energy storage that's already in the code. The reason for that, under the new legislation, you have to have new requirements in the code by July 1st for them to become effective. After that date, there won't be an opportunity to add any additional regulations. So you want to make sure you pass that before July 1st. This new legislation also makes battery energy storage an accessory use by right. So the county can't say no to it if it's within an existing solar facility that's already been approved. So there are 3 in the county. So those 3 battery storage would have to be allowed. But by putting these requirements into the code, even though it's allowed, they would have to meet these requirements that we're proposing to be placed in those facilities. So you have the proposed text of the ordinance before you, and then I can attempt to answer any questions that you may have.
So this is a pretty lengthy ordinance, but looking at it, are there any implications from, do we have anything existing in the county, battery storage or anything like that that's already there that this would impact? Not solar farms, but just battery storage in general.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any existing battery storage facilities. Nothing has come through a special exception process that I'm aware of for battery storage in the county currently. So this would only affect future. Facilities that would go within solar farms.
And this is setting up an independent definition of those storage facilities. So if you have a business, and this is more, a question, it's phrased like a statement, but if we have a business or a farm or something like that wants to set up battery storage, independent of a solar facility, is there going to be any, I mean, I guess these regulations will impact that as well. There would be a special exemption you would need for the battery storage for a farm or business.
Yeah, the key is that kilowatt hours if it,
The
if it exceeds
600
that.
kilowatt, yeah. Okay, and this would make anything after July 1st, that would all be special exemption for battery storage then.
Yeah, there's already a definition for battery storage in our existing code so it's already a special exception. And this just defines it more clearly and adds additional regulation to what's already there.
Board members have any comments?
Yeah, I have one. On page 2. Oh, T battery storage and A at the bottom. That all battery storage facilities shall maintain a minimum of 5,000 foot setback from public roads and property line. The current one on Route 616 can't do that.
And that's existing language that's currently in the code. Anything that's not underlined is already in the code currently. So.
Right, that's right. So just so it's clear, only italicized language or stricken language is what this ordinance is doing, right? So that's existing code language. Now, is that a battery storage facility or a solar
Well, don't they
facility?
put battery storage at solar?
Yeah, but they're
Fine.
two separate things legally in state law and in the ordinance. This is just about battery storage.
Okay, that
Yeah.
was my question.
Yeah, so that solar facility was approved before the current county ordinance provisions. That's
Yeah.
why it's so close to the road.
So they could go in and put a battery storage there if they don't already have one.
They could, and when you pass this, they will have to meet all the setbacks and all the other various safety requirements in this ordinance. If you don't adopt this ordinance, then we won't have any of this. They could do what they want. So this ordinance protects the county from that standpoint.
Right, okay.
And so it's just
So-
the most bizarre state law. If we don't do this by July 1, then we lose our opportunity to regulate it.
I understand it. So. But the 5,000 foot is where I'm coming from. I mean, they're not but 200 yards off the state highway.
So they probably couldn't have battery storage.
That's what I'm trying to get at,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So they would be eliminated from,
As if this ordinance is adopted and they don't have, I mean, they could, you know, acquire other property, other parcels. I don't know the project in detail, but you know, if they don't have the ability to meet these standards, they wouldn't be able to do it.
yeah, well, cause 5,000 feet bucking is right at a mile.
You know, and we're gonna be coming back to you later this year with some changes to the solar facility provisions of the ordinance
Okay.
based on changes to state law. But that was less urgent because it didn't have that July 1 deadline.
Okay.
And we still requiring fire suppression in this battery storage. They're not taking that away.
Yeah, this actually strengthens
Yeah.
those requirements versus what there already are some. This takes it further on fire suppression, things like that.
No, you know, you firefight. Lithium batteries, that's what they use, right, for the storage?
Just for the sake of argument, yeah, go.
Sure.
Well, I mean, we don't have anything that can put that out, correct?
Yeah, water.
I didn't think you could put water
You
on.
can't put water on lithium.
That's what I thought. You
Yeah.
had to phone them.
We put water on everything.
Yeah, that's because you don't. But anyhow, I thought you had to phone them.
No, I don't think you can put water on.
The bulldozer in and bury it.
And I'm just, by some of the research, I know they had that fire out in California when they had that car. And normally when you put water on lithium, it blows.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
yeah. That's what I thought.
But y'all aren't going in there to put water on them anyway, are you?
No.
No,
we-
what I'm getting at though is what if we have a fire and he gets out of the building? You know, the fire suppression doesn't put it out and we're stuck with having to put it out. We have no way of putting it out.
Yeah, there's some
We
separation.
got foam trucks and all that, correct?
We, we put out what's outside the gate. What's inside the gate is whoever owns the facility. We had a small
So
fire.
they just let it burn.
It's the only choice we got. We had a small fire from a wire breakage at one of the facilities last year, and it started a brush fire, and it got out of the gate, out of the fence. We managed outside the fence, and the person who was in charge of it told us that the fire department, treat this just like a substation on 609. If it was on fire, you wouldn't go in there.
Let it burn.
We handle outside the fence.
Okay.
There you
Okay.
Once,
I was trying to get a phone truck out the deal.
That's not.
That's where I was
go.
going.
You got foam on all the trucks.
No, I'm talking about a
once
real.
we make this change,
Like I said.
and
We don't need it.
It's in the definition.
once we make the change, implement this, and then after July 1st, we have this to reference. Can we modify this definition or these requirements? And they still remain full force?
That's a good question. The way the state law is drafted, maybe not. Probably not. Unless that law has changed. So, I think. It's a hard question to answer. I think
Yeah.
for now, I think getting something in place makes sense. There may be opportunities down the road to amend it. I mean, the other thing, this does is, so you asked earlier, it deals with both standalone battery storage facilities, because those do exist in some cases, and with the new state definition of accessory uses, as Austin was saying, starting July 1, any approved solar facility will be able to, by right, add battery storage. So, however, we're able to regulate that battery storage if we do it by July 1.
Right.
So it's kind of quirky. Down the road, there could be able to modify it.
Maybe, yeah.
I just, we want to make sure we make that July 1
Oh, well, yeah, well, this has got a fast
deadline.
We've got a,
And
those.
yeah, and Todd, to your question, a lot of this deals with firewalls and separation. In my conversations with industry, they do typically let them burn, right? Because the challenges of putting them out. So you'll see in the ordinance, there's a lot of detail in how the type of firewalls, how far the structures have to be separated, things like that get it isolating, I think, any potential fire. There is some mention of suppression, but I think the industry practice is to build it so that if it does have a fire, it can be contained and just burn.
That's good for the environment too.
Yeah.
So
I haven't heard one of these happen in a while, but
Oh,
it can.
they've had them.
Yeah.
the reason I asked this question is in the event that, to Todd's point, once this goes into place, we want to strengthen it, as in, we have a lot of requirements here to say how you're supposed to build this and have the firewalls and have the containment. But as far as an inspection regularity, do we have, is it a yearly or 2-year inspection requirement? I'm trying to find something in here. That way the battery storage sits here for 20 years and the containment deteriorates. Do we have any action?
So,
I thought the county did it.
well, there will be the initial building inspection
Right.
and permitting and electrical and structural and all that still applies. And that's outside of this ordinance.
Right.
There is, if you look to, there's on section 20, there's detailed decommissioning provisions, which we did not currently have in our code. I think maybe we have it for solar, but not for battery. And as a part of that, that's planning for down the road, end of life. How you decommission it. And so a bond has to be put in place. And so this does require every 5 years, they have to get, an engineer has to inspect that facility and calculate recalculate the costs of the eventual decommissioning. So that is one avenue where it will be looked at least every 5 years. I don't know that there's like an annual inspection.
Yeah, and I'm not saying we have to do an annual. I would hate for these things in the 5-year inspection, it would be an inspection as far as the cost for decommissioning.
Yeah, right.
But from the containment aspect, I mean, some of us have worked at large companies that have, this infrastructure in place, and when it deteriorates and there's nobody there to check it except for the guy checking the fire extinguishers, But that may be something we have to look at later, if it's something we could I
And
can't
that
really,
could be
we
something.
don't have much time, right?
That could be something we address later, I think.
The last paragraph actually that's already there says the solar facility operator or owner shall conduct regular on-site inspections of the battery units.
there is.
Submit a written report to the
Yeah, Austin's got
administrator
it. There is
on
an
their
inspection.
condition.
Oh, the,
At least once every 6 months.
the self-inspection?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. There's Chesterfield about the dump, right?
Hey, it's an inspection.
Hey.
Well, I guess if it looks suspect, the zoning administrator can look behind it and go on site. What section is that?
Third bottom.
Yeah, it's I at the very last.
And that's current. Yeah, that's current.
Any members have any more questions? You good, Parker?
Yeah, I'm good. It's got something in there for it.
All right. At this time, I will open the public hearing and invite anyone wishing to speak on this matter to come forward. Anybody wishing to speak on this battery storage text amendment? All right, I will close the public hearing. Okay,
All right,
it's up to you.
all right, planning commission, any questions, comments? Obviously, hopefully everybody got there. Yeah, what's your pleasure?
I motion to approve the battery energy storage text as it's written.
Second. All right, been made and properly seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. All right, we will pass that recommendation along to the board of supervisors.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion from the Board of Supervisors to adjourn the joint meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor to adjourn the joint meeting. The planning commission will still stay in session for just a little bit longer.
Mr. Chair, I think we time out on the adjournment motion. No, but he was a joint adjournment there. That was a joint adjournment. So you don't want it, the planning commission to join? So the planning commission's not done with their business?
No, that's right.
That's what you
No,
just said.
he's-
No, no,
okay.
that's
He's just,
I'm just stepping, I'm just getting us to step out.
Yes. My fault.
We good?
I'm good. Jumped the gun.
All right, the motion on the floor to adjourn the joint meeting of supervisors part. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. The planning commission is still having a meeting, gentlemen.
all right, so we've got one other item, on the variance review.
Yeah, so the Board of Zoning Appeals has a variance request that will be before them at their next meeting. The requirement for a variance case is that the planning commission be made aware of the case for review. The planning commission can make a recommendation, but the planning commission is not required to make a recommendation. The Board of Zoning Appeals will have the ultimate decision on this request. So the application is before you, so you can make any comments, make a recommendation officially if you want to, or you don't have to do anything. You can just say we're good and not take any action.
Okay. Planning commission members, any thoughts, comments?
So, and I think I spoke with you a little earlier today on this. So we, notice was put out to neighbors on this.
Not yet. It will before the public, before the
Before
BZA.
the-
Yes, it will
Okay.
before the Board of Zoning Appeal meeting.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this in particular. The previous plot or a few years ago, there was a mobile home, it looks like on the property, right? Previous structure on the property, and it was actually closer to what this one was. Now, personally, I'm not in the habit of changing setbacks and things like of that nature, right? I think we got to be careful with that, but in this case, it's an improvement from where we had it before. So, I'm fine with the way this particular setup is.
Any other thoughts? So is this something that you want to give a recommendation to, or just let the BZA take care of it, or do you wanna make a formal recommendation?
I won't one way or another specifically because of the notice going out to the neighbors. So that'd be the only reason I wouldn't say anything. I'd just let them have time to review it and look and speak if needed.
Okay.
I want to get ahead of them.
All right, so we won't take any action on that, and we'll let the board take care of that. Any other business that anybody's aware of? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank y'all, thank y'all for coming.
Y'all have.